Alright everybody, today we are going to be taking a look at Session 7 list assignment and going through that. So first off, let's click on our excuse me, click on our paper in the top left corner, left click that, go down to the third option that says open, left click that, and we see here we have Session 7 list assignment. And our assignment says create a list, insert A into the first element of the list, and delete the last element of the list. I just chose A there, but it can be anything, honestly, as we learned in our list example. Alright. Okay, we see we have our when flag is click control block. We have our list here. So let's populate this first. So once again, if you click the right arrow, it will add spaces to your list where you can fill them up with whatever you want, or you can left click the arrow, or the left arrow I should say, to remove elements from the list. So it's a 0 now. So let's right click it, add some elements. So we can call it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. By the way, quick pro tip, if you want to cycle through like this, to go right, just hit your Tab, T-A-B, button on your keyboard. It's usually located on the very left. And to go left, you will press your Shift button. It's on the left. And while holding down Shift, press Tab. Alright. And that won't cost you anything. Free tip. Alright. So, we have the list variable right here. And I created this by going to under the variables tab, under the make a variable button, and this pops up. You just give it a name and choose if you want for all sprites or for just the sprite you're working with. And once you create that variable, if you click on this down arrow for your set block, you see that variable you created is there. So this says set our list variable to 0. So whatever this is our variable, it's 0. If we left drag our list into this block right here, or this space, what this does is this basically says make whatever this variable is equal to this. So our list variable is now equal to our list. So for all intents and purposes, this is our list. So let's plug this in right here. And if we hit the left, or if we left click our green flag, we see that our list is just like we made it. Alright, so the instructions say insert the letter A or whatever you want into the beginning of the list, and delete the last element, in our case it would be 5, from the end of the list. So if let's do the insert first. So you see we have options. 1 means the beginning, last means the last one, and any I think chooses a random number. So let's test that out. So let's get our list variable and plug it in to this little square right here. And for insert, let's choose Josh. That's my name. So let's see what this does. Let's hit our green arrow. So you see it randomly inserted it. We keep running it, it will randomly insert it. And we could plug other stuff in here if you want to specifically choose which position. Like if we just had to have something inserted into, say, the second element of our list, we could, for instance, if we go to make another variable right here, if we choose, you can name this whatever. I'm going to call it second element. Hit OK. And let's get another set block right here. If we click the down arrow and choose second element, and now if we set and get our second element variable right here, and let's set it to Bob, and when we plug this in, what this says now is our second element is going to equal, or excuse me, that's not what I want to do. Let's call it 2, because there's second element in the list. So now this says set second element to 2. So this second element variable is equal to 2. So if we plug this into this drop-down menu, this drop-down box right here. So what this says is insert Josh at second element, which equals 2. So insert Josh at 2, which should be right here, of our list variable. So if we run that, now in our second element it should say Josh. And there we go. But that's not the assignment. That was just another freebie. So let's just left click this. Let's get rid of our second element variable right here. So let's insert Josh at 1, so it'll be the beginning of our list. So if we run this, it says set. We also do not need this set second element anymore, so let's left click and drag it down. Alright, so now if we run our program, it should it says set our list variable to our list and insert whatever we want. I put Josh, but you can put whatever. Insert that at 1, which will be our first element of our list variable. Also, I'm going to real quick uncheck this box to make that go way down there. Alright, so if we run it now, Josh should be at the top of our list. So let's run it, and we see Josh. Now, we mentioned it, but I've said you can also insert, or a list can contain other lists. So if we want to test that theory out, let's scroll down here. We're on our variables tab. Let's get our list sphere, whatever you want to call it, pill, oval, and we can call this, or we can populate it with, let's say, this is a list within a list. So now if we get this other list and put it right here in the insert box. So now what should happen is this list will be in our first element of our other list. So let's run it, left click it. It gets a little messy, but we see our first element of our list, probably should have named it a little differently, is this other list. Alright, so let's just get rid of this real quick. So Simon said A, so let's just do A. If we run that, we see now it's A 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now we want to delete the last element of the list, so we can choose last right here. And like I said, these are one last all. These are just pre-made options, and so you can choose whichever one you want by using a variable. So let's say delete last, which would be the 6th element of our list. Let's put that in there, and let's attach it. So you might can hear a train. Sorry, I live next to one. Alright, so our code says set our list to the list we made, insert the letter A at 1, which is the first position or index of our list, and delete the last element of our list. So if we run that, we see that now our list length is 5, and we lost the last element. And we can just do the say list, and that'll make our sprite say it also. And that is the Session 7 list assignment.